mocked as just become a man only a year out royal, but the man his wife tells him to become. You've only been a year at the firm. Prince Harry mocked over Man I've Become memoirs. Prince Harry was mocked after he revealed his memoirs would focus on the man he has become after one royal historian pointed out the relatively short time he has actually been out of the royal family. Dr. Tessa Dunlop mocked Prince Harry after the royal claimed his memoirs would recount his life not as the prince I was born but as the man I have become. Dr. Dunlop went on to say he has only been out for a little over a year and drew comparisons between abdicated royal Edward VIII, who also penned a memoir. Dr. Dunlop urged the Duke of Sussex to hold your horses as the historian looked back at older royal family members and their successes and failures when they revealed their stories. Prince Harry isn't the first royal to step back from duties and later write a tell-all. Prince Harry has been torn apart over his new book, with a royal expert pointing out that Edward VIII took 15 years to release his memoir after quitting the monarchy. Royal commentator Russell Myers said Edward had two excuses for publishing a king's story: the memoirs of HRH the Duke of Windsor in 1951. Mr. Myers highlighted how 15 years had passed since his abdication in 1936, after less than a year as king, to marry American divorcee Wallis Simpson. Prince Harry released a statement about the book: "I'm writing this not as the prince I was born but as the man I have become." A Briton commented, "Okay," says Harry, "maybe not man I've become, but the man my wife and psychiatrists say I've become, so they can get some mileage and money out of it too before I get dumped by them both." An expert talked about Harry: "I would argue that it's a little premature. Of course he's gonna be cashing in on the momentum from the Platinum Jubilee, which is a little cynical. But now if you look at history, it tells us this has been done before." Abdicated Edward VIII, one of the most famous men in the world. When he abdicated, the reason he bought his memoirs out was he was fearful that actually, the authorized biography of his brother King George VI was going to spill the beans. And also Stanley Baldwin, the former Prime Minister, might be writing a biography. So he comes out with his, and the timing's very good and clever in that respect. I think it is in 1951, he abdicates in 1936, and it makes quite a lot of money. He's got a very good co-writer and it does very well. But he waited 14 long years, and incidentally the subsequent 2 books didn't do very well. So if you're going to blow it, I would say hold your horses, Harry, because you can't say, "Oh, it's about the man I've become." You've only had a year and a half out of the firm. King Edward VIII abdicated the throne in 1936 to be with his American socialite wife Wallis Simpson, causing a constitutional crisis in the UK. The royal commentator wrote in the Mirror, "When the Queen's uncle Edward VIII quit his royal role, leaving the monarchy and the family in utter turmoil at his dereliction of duty over personal preference, he took 15 years to write his memoirs. His excuse came amid the passage of time and dire financial troubles. Harry has neither of these. The memoirs looked at his life in the royal family as he revealed the struggles he had with his position." The book, titled A King's Story, The Memoirs of HRH the Duke of Windsor, also discussed his strict childhood and poor relations with Prime Minister Stanley Baldwin. It was announced Prince Harry has been working on his memoirs over the past year and has sold the publishing rights to Penguin Random House. The memoirs are set to be published in late 2022 and are expected to shed light on his time in the royal family and in the army.